literally the next day. It's Thursday because I could not for the life of me remember to vlog when I say I'm going to. But yesterday, Thursday, I went and met with my thesis chair, and this is my thesis vlog, by the way. I feel silly making it, but I know that I will look back on it and be glad that I did. And the other thing is that when I made vlogs of my time at Berklee, someone reached out and said that it helped them know what to expect. So this is what to expect as a grad student who is thesising in creative writing while teaching research writing to freshmen. Yeah, this is my thesis. So over break, I wrote my thesis while at home to the best of my ability, and I did film some of that. I was going to make it into a vlog, but ended up really not feeling well due to some medical stuff that I was dealing with while I was home. And now we're back. We're about 2 weeks into school, and I just had my first thesis meeting yesterday, and it is now time to begin week 1 of rapid editing. So we talked about what happened in the 40 pages I submitted and what needed to be fixed, the way that I went into this meeting. So a week ago, I submitted my 40 pages, opening 40 pages to a YA novel, and my chair read those, and yesterday we sat down together to meet. Now, the bad thing about having a really bad memory is that you don't remember things, but it did help that when I sat down, so right before our meeting, I sat down to read the 40 pages to refresh my memory going into the meeting. It felt like I was reading it with fresh eyes because it'd been long enough since I recently read it that I didn't fully remember everything I'd written, which meant I had an easier time identifying the things that needed to be changed. So then I sat down with her and did my meeting, which I have no footage of, obviously, and we were kind of on the same page that things that needed to be fixed were things like pacing and getting to the action sooner and getting the tension, which I told her and she agreed is kind of, I was writing to get to the point where I knew what I was doing and where I was and to get my footing in the project, but now I found that footing and I can go back, fix the pacing. I'm not stumbling as much anymore, whereas I kind of needed to write what I wrote to get to the point where I knew where I was going and to get a feel for the story. So we're good there, but she was saying that I seem to know the voice really well, which is great because this is kind of a different voice for me, and I know my characters very well, and we're both really excited about what the story is about. My story is about, in kind of broad strokes, is about a young woman who is somewhat well known, going off to college, and there are also ghosts. We'll just leave it there for now. The way that I went about taking notes is I took physical notes on suggestions she made and ways to implement them so that I wouldn't forget. And then as soon as I got out of the meeting, I made a voice memo on my phone of what we talked about so that I could remember. That's something I'll have to listen to, maybe transcribe before I get started. She's also sending me annotations, either annotations or written notes. I know she had written notes in front of her when we were talking, so it might be just that. I was supposed to, well, first of all, I was supposed to hang out with my friend today and go get coffee, but they're not feeling well, so that got canceled. And then I got out of my first thing today at 12:30, and I had a Zoom call for my teaching job at 4, and I thought I would go to the coffee shop in between, but I got a migraine instead. Luckily now ibuprofen and acetaminophen have kicked in and my brain's feeling better, but I do need/want to go to the post office today. So I think I'm gonna go do that because I have to be there by 5:30 and it's 5:07. So I have to go get that, and then I think I'm gonna pick up some sort of beverage. I also have some grading to do. Also, if you're one of my students watching this, stop, please. This is embarrassing. No, you're not. You didn't see this. Don't say anything. I am teaching research writing. It's my first time teaching research writing. This is my first year as a teacher, as a grad instructor, and it'll be my last year as a grad instructor, but hopefully not as a professor, because I get to keep this job once I graduate, which is great. And it is me in a room of freshmen teaching, and I'm the only professor, which blows some people's mind and honestly blows my mind. But I really love it, and I'm really passionate about it, and I think I'm doing a good job, so that's good. Right now we're working on memoirs, so that's been a really fun thing to be teaching and everything. I feel like I'm kind of in my wheelhouse right now. As we get into research, I think it'll be really interesting to see what people choose to research about, and I'm really looking forward to the process of researching with them, and I actually think it's going to be a really good time. Anyway, the goal is to film until I submit next Thursday. We met yesterday, Thursday, and I have until next Thursday to submit my revision, but I draft fast, so that should be just fine. Hopefully. It will be. It has to be. So, okay. What I should be doing, right, is working on my thesis. Oh, what I'm gonna do is change over the bins that my clothes are in. So I just got my laundry and I need to put it all away. But I don't want to put it in the old bins and then have to put the new ones in. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, so as you can see, it's 10:50. You can kind of see on the clock. And I procrastinated even more working on my thesis by grading. But then I got my notes from my chair, and so I read those. And they're all things that we had talked about. Totally right. Some of them are formatting issues from the Google Docs to Word download. So I think next time I submit, I will have to, and this is me saying this aloud so I remember because otherwise I won't. We'll have to download my Google Doc to Word first, format it for her, and then I won't get those comments. See what I did there? I'm smart. Some of them are grammar things. Some of them are content things. So I think what I'm going to do is make the changes that I knew I wanted to make first, along with the changes that she's mentioned that are bigger changes that I already have in my brain, and make all of those changes first. Then go back and like cross-reference, and whatever I've kept that she made comments about grammatically or sentence-wise or anything, fix those things. So I'm not doing the work to fix things that I just end up deleting. So I think what I'm going to do right now, real quick, is refill my water bottle because it's empty. I've almost finished my soda, and I think the caffeine really helped with my headache to keep it from coming back. And then I think I'm just going to work for an hour. And if me being less productive today means I can be more productive tomorrow, that's fine. I did put all of my clothes away in the new bins too, though. And I went to my P.O. box and picked something up. And I made myself dinner and lunch and breakfast. I'm gonna go do what I said, and then there will be footage of me working on my thesis, because I gotta do it at some point today. It's been a while since I've talked to you, so I'm going to catch you up real quick because I'm not in the habit of doing this, so I keep forgetting. On Saturday, I went to the Tate over by Arlington, and I was planning to sit there and do some work, but unfortunately, it was so full and busy that I couldn't. So I ended up walking all the way up to Emerson and sitting where I sat the day before, and or sat on Thursday when I went to meet with my thesis chair, and I sat there and did work. For the most part, I was just reading through. I did go back through and I was editing. I added a character to a scene, and I think it made the scene work a lot better, which was great. I still feel like I need to speed up the beginning, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. So because I'm still unclear on that, oh my gosh, I just had an idea. I'm gonna say it and then I'm gonna cut it out because I can't, So I did that, and then I came home. Next day I went to physical therapy, and then I went and picked up my sunglasses at the Peru. So now I have my sunglasses, my new prescription. And then I ended up writing at home. After physical therapy, a lot of times I will have like a really bad migraine or a headache or just a lot of pain. I was actually fine, but I didn't want to risk being out and about, so and then not feeling well, so I went home and did that, which was nice because I had my cat sitting next to me, and I ended up deciding that since I couldn't figure out how to fix the beginning, that I would just start writing forward. And then I plan to go back and do another pass, but now that I have that idea, maybe that's what I'll do tonight. It's currently Monday, and I went and met up with my friends at the Tate by Emerson today, which was great. We just sat and chatted. We don't usually we'll like do work, but we just sat and talked, and then another friend happened to upon us and joined us, and it was great. We caught up in all the goings on of the MFA program, and then I went and taught, which was really fun. We did a lot of group work today, and I think it went okay, so that was good. Today I haven't done any writing yet. You will probably see the next thing of me will be me with wet hair because I'm about to shower doing that writing I just talked about. I did go to the library and I have to ask someone to help me find the movie Bring It On. I need to research 2000s slang, so the way I'm doing that is by consuming 2000s media, because what better way? And I want to watch Bring It On, the movie, not the musical. I would open my blinds so there's more natural light, but it's supposed to be like absolutely terribly freezing here this weekend, so I'm gonna not do that because I will forget to close them and then I'll be cold tomorrow. Yesterday, what you didn't see is that I went to Tate with my best friend and I worked on my thesis, so I finished up writing the new stuff that I needed to add to the end. So now I'm in a good place with that, and the next thing to do is to edit what I have so far. So last night and today at a coffee shop, I sat down with a printed copy of my manuscript so far, and I marked it up with a pen. I just find that getting it in a different format makes it easier for me to see the things I want to change or like things that are bad, and having to physically write it down and then transfer it into the computer is just a part of the process that I find works really well for me. So now I'm actually gonna do the grading that I need to do because I told my students I would get it done, and then I'm gonna pivot to work on my thesis. I'm going to see friends tonight, hopefully. The lock on the front door of my building is broken. Like, I just got home and I couldn't get in because my key wouldn't even go all the way into the lock. So if they don't fix that, I'm I'm not gonna go because I don't want to have to be like buzzing random people to get back in, which is what I did, and it was fine. If my thesis isn't done enough by the time we're supposed to be hanging out at their house, I'm gonna text them and be like, look, I can either bring my work and do my thesis there, but I have to actually do it, or I'll stay home, which I might have to do anyway. But we'll see. I think we'll be fine. It's 4-ish now. It's like 3:48, so it's almost 4. And I don't know when we're meeting, but that doesn't give me a lot of time. Maybe I'll do part of the grading and then get in on the thesis. My plan for doing that is that I will look at my notes on the physical copy, and I will also cross-reference as I go the grammar notes that are on my teacher's notes, my chair's notes, my thesis advisor's note, my thesis chair's notes. We got there eventually. So that I can make any of the changes that she had suggested grammar-wise if that part of the piece was something she edited and not something I deleted. So I have just finished the rough edit of this vlog, and I realized I never updated you yesterday in the chaos of finishing the draft or the edit. So I did send it off on time. When all was said and done, it ended up being 60 pages, 59 pages, and 20 of those were completely new, and then the rest of it was iterations on what I'd submitted before. So I sent that to my teacher, and she actually had me tell her where in the earlier pages, is your pipe cleaner not moving on its own? Give me 1 second. She wants to play. She asked me to point out where I had made substantial changes in the pages she's already read, so she's not like focusing on things she's already read. So everything's in and done, which is great. And the only thing to do now is wait. My plan was we expected to meet next Thursday. We're meeting on Monday now, which is fine, but it does mean that I will be revising my thesis and grading at the same time, which wasn't going to be the case. Except now, due to a very unfortunate thing, that might not be the case. I will be less cryptic if I can in the future, but not right now. Yeah, I'm gonna actually just end this and then start next week's vlog. Craziness. Look at me doing the thing I said I would. But I hope you enjoyed. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a good idea of what it's like to be a creative writing grad student and be thesising and teaching. I will be doing this hopefully for the rest of the semester. We'll see if I get too embarrassed to keep doing it, but it'll be fun to look back on. I hope you have a good week and you stay warm if you are somewhere where it is cold like it is in Boston right now, and I'll see you once I've, done another submission. So, bye!